welcome back to Stanny Boy Reviews. I'm your host, Stanley. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out my channel and to talk about your favorite horror films and mine. You guys, it has been such a good couple of weeks for horror movies. We had Bodies, 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 What Josiah Saw, which is perhaps my favorite horror film of the year. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It is awesome. It's on Shudder. Go check it out and watch my review. The link is right here. But today we are going to be talking about the long-awaited prequel to 2009's shocker Orphan, aptly titled Orphan First Kill. It does not need much of an introduction, so since I'm already seated, you go have a seat, go grab your pigtails, go grab your ribbons, go grab your crazy Russian accents. Check out my new ghost light. I did not get the chance to talk about this last time. I love this, and also check out my Madame Leota thing that I got from Disneyland the last time I was there.
Serpents and spiders,
Can't really see it because of the ring light right there, but this is rad. You can't even hear it. Whatever. I like this. I like my new setup. You get to see my toys. Anyway, let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to make a quick announcement now. If you have not seen 2009's Orphan, then I'm going to suggest you stop this review because it's going to be pretty impossible to talk about this new film without spoiling what happened in the first movie. This whole movie is a prequel. So do yourself a favor, stop now, and then go watch Orphan. And then come back, watch this, and then watch that movie, and then watch this new movie, and then watch this review, and then we'll go from there. But you've been warned. I don't really like to spoil things. Everybody knows that. So with that being said, yeah. Okay, so everyone involved with Orphan First Kill knew what they were doing. It was clear from the first frame until the final one, and you guys, I was smiling like a fat kid in a cake store. I had a sincere blast. I just want to get that out of the way right now. This movie was awesome. It was announced in early 2020, right before COVID, that there was going to be a new Orphan film. They were going to call it Esther. It was going to be from the Dark Castle production company. And let me tell you, it was kind of cool to see the Dark Castle logo at the beginning of this movie because you don't really see it very much anymore. This was a blast from the past, so I was really happy about that from the get-go. Anyway, this was written by David Coggeshall, co-written by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick. Say that 10 times fast. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Some months later, the title would change from Esther to simply Orphan First Kill. But honestly, I like Esther better, but whatever, it's not my movie. Original star Isabel Fuhrman would join the cast, reprising her role as Esther. She would later be joined by Julia Stiles.
It's Mommy.
And a whole bunch of other people that I have never seen before. There was a real-life adoption scandal back in 2014 involving a couple from Indiana who had adopted a girl and abandoned her. Apparently she had a type of dwarfism, and they blamed the original Orphan film on why they abandoned her. They had changed her record saying that she was actually 22 when she really wasn't. She was actually a child. And this caused Isabel Fuhrman to reach out to writers to make another movie. But they already had a sequel in the works, which turned into a prequel. Thus, Orphan First Kill was born. Fuhrman was going to be involved as a producer, maybe having a cameo, and then that ended up with her just reprising her role as Esther entirely. Because she was just so involved with the script and so involved with the story that the writers were like, hey, you already originated it, just do it again. We'll figure out how to make it work. They decided they were going to use forced perspective and camera tricks and child body doubles, which might sound kind of silly, but oddly enough, it worked. And that was my main concern when I first heard about this movie, was how was Isabel Fuhrman going to play this role again? I'm gonna just tell you now, they pulled it off. Suspension of belief, or whatever you want to call it. Put all your concerns aside, guys. The movie would make its way into theaters and onto Paramount Plus streaming mid-August of 2022 to critical acclaim. It made $1.7 million on opening weekend, and according to Rotten Tomatoes, has just above 70%. And that's not bad for a prequel well over 13 years after its predecessor. So let's just get into it. It takes place 2 years before the first movie. Esther, who is Lena, as we know, has that dwarfism disorder that makes her look much younger than she actually is, because remember, she's not a child. She's actually a full-grown woman trapped in a child's body due to her disease, is a full-blown psychopath residing at an insane asylum somewhere in Estonia. And after making a crazy-ass escape in a bonkers opening sequence, she manipulates manipulates her way into the house of a very wealthy couple, the super wealthy Albrights, played by Julia Stiles and Rossif Sutherland. And she is taking on the identity of Esther, who is their daughter who went missing 4 years ago. And she weasels her way in pretty smoothly at first.
It's lovely to be back.
The only person who has any sort of suspicion would be the brother.
4 years ago, she was still drawing stick figures.
And the private investigator who has been on the case for the last 4 years. But they have their reasons. Basically, it's the same formula that we saw in the first Orphan, or the second Orphan, depending on how you look at this. Lena takes a liking to the dad. Mom has her doubts.
Sister's behavior has been so erratic.
The family psychologist also has a few questions.
Is there anything you want to tell me?
And just when you think you're watching a frame-by-frame remake of Orphan Part 1 to Orphan 2009, you're not. No, you're not at all. This movie takes a hard, sharp right turn at the halfway point, and my jaw was on the floor. Wow. I literally grabbed onto Christopher and looked at him and was like, what the oh my god, this movie just went sideways. And I was so happy. I won't spoil anything. Normally, I can call these things from a mile away, but I did not see this twist coming at all.
I think something's going on with Esther.
I am so proud of the horror community. Not one person on Twitter, on Instagram, on any form of social media ruined this for me. And I'm a troll. I am on social media all the time. And I did not see one spoiler. This was a genuine surprise for me, and it felt good to be in a movie theater and just be in awe. Yay! Yay, Orphan First Kill, for having such a good plot device and have it be utilized in such a clever, smart, fun, sharp way. I also really loved all the nods to Orphan 2009. I was smiling like an idiot. And dare I say, I was laughing my ass off. It was definitely a campy, schlocky John Waters movie with blood. And that's a high compliment. Like I said earlier, it knew exactly what it was doing. The one complaint I thought that I was going to have was Julia Stiles. Then around the halfway point, there was a switch that got flipped. And I was like, okay, I get it. So there we go. I had 0 complaints on the film after I walked out. The music was good. The actors did good. They did everything that they could have. And they did it quite well. So on Stanny Stabometer, what the do you know? 5 stabs. I told myself on the drive home that it was going to be a solid 4. I was even trying to convince myself that it was 3.5, because how can I be getting so lucky with movies these days? This is such a good time for horror fans to be alive. We're getting what we want. I loved this movie for many reasons. Isabel Fuhrman for 1. I would gladly go see Orphan's 2nd kill, Orphan 3rd kill, Orphan 7th kill. She could get a television show. So God bless Isabel Fuhrman. If she never makes another movie again, I will be fine with it because we have Esther. What do you think? Did you see Orphan First Kill? It's so worth it. I suggest watching 2009 and then this one because that's just the order that they were created in. They are so much fun. I really, really enjoyed them. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I am on Instagram, I am on Twitter, and I am on TikTok. Thank you so much for watching this review. I will be back next week. Take care for now. Check out my new shirt.
It's subscribe!